character you see here was created using a number of techniques, both basic and advanced. I wanted to share these techniques with you for beginner users, intermediate users, and advanced users to help give you an idea what After Effects is capable of and how you might be able to apply these techniques to your own creations to bring them to life. Probably the biggest difference between this particular puppet and any other puppet I've made in After Effects is the ability to have a three-dimensional head. I was introduced to Freeform Pro earlier this year, and it has completely changed the way I build characters' heads. I used to do a lot of tricks and methods to try and make it work, and it was a slow, arduous process, but this has changed everything. As you can see, I can rotate freely in a wide range of motion, both on X, Y, and Z axes. This was all done with a drawing of a character's head that was never intended to be three-dimensional. In fact, it's just a Photoshop layer brought into After Effects and manipulated using Freeform Pro. Not only can I create a 3D head and manipulate it around, but I can also do that to a nested composition, which allows me to create blinks, make the eyes move around, move the mouth and the chin and the cheeks and the eyebrows, and actually have that distorted displacement map in real time. And as you can see, I've built a number of sliders here that I can use to change his facial expressions and manipulate his eyes. Everything from his blinking to his interest distance for his pupils, going cross-eyed, wall-eyed, his pupil size, his eyebrows, both left and right, and both of them together, so I can manipulate each one individually or as a group. I also have an anger one, so that brings his eyebrows closer together to make him look more angry, and it also squints up his cheeks a little bit. And then I have a smile control and a mouth shape, so I can create multiple mouth shapes which are nested into the head composition. I can manipulate the jaw here, which moves freely from the mouth shape but also is affected by the mouth shape. And then I can manipulate the cheeks to help the character squint or further enhance the facial expressions. On top of that, I've created a slider to actually help simulate the character breathing. This slider manipulates a number of null objects that are driving his body rig to make him breathe convincingly. So I can actually just animate this slider and not have to think about it while I animate all the other parts of the character. The other feature of this puppet that is significantly different from puppets I've done in the past is that it uses inverse kinematics. This is a major time saver. I used to have to rotate each joint manually to make a character move, and now with inverse kinematics, he's really simple to make him move. It's easier than ever. This was brought to After Effects by a man named Nicholas Dufresne. He created a set of really easy to use animation tools in a plugin set called Duic Tools. You can get it online for free or with donation, and it makes a world of difference. As you can see, I can manipulate each one of these joints using control points and have the whole character's body respond appropriately. It's never been so easy to animate a character in After Effects and get such convincing results. I'm just moving some of the character's limbs around to show you some of the range of motion that you can get by using this tool. I've actually paired it with the puppet tool, which has actually enabled me to create smooth distortions with single layers, like an arm or a leg or a torso or a shirt. So as you can see, I'm bending his torso, and that's just one drawing. I haven't had to split and segment it up the way you used to have to do cutout animation in After Effects. On top of everything else, I've made some fairly specific hand controls. The sliders in the effects box actually control how much the fingers bend. I have one for all the fingers where you can select and open or close them all at once, or you can individually select each one and make some very specific hand poses. This technique is achieved by creating a single finger and bending it using the puppet tool, enabling time remapping on the nested composition, and using the slider to move forward and backwards through the animation. So effectively, the fingers bend and relax. The next thing I want to look at is the feet. Now for the feet, I have a nested composition with a number of different foot poses in it that are controlled using this slider right here. On top of that, I can control the angle of the toe for walking using this expression control right here. So once you have all of these elements combined, you get a very versatile puppet, one that can suit most of the animation needs required from the script. The techniques used to create this puppet are actually quite simple. They just seem complex because they're all stacked on top of one another. The tutorial videos I've made around building this character are not meant to be a step-by-step on how to achieve this exact design. I made the tutorials while I was actually building a character for a real production. They are more meant to be a source of inspiration or a guide on how you can approach designing your own characters. I've developed these techniques over making many projects, and I've learned a lot from other people. I'm trying to bring all of this collective knowledge into one place so that you don't have to spend so much time figuring these simple techniques out through endless trial and error. Once you understand how these techniques can be applied, you can start modifying them to suit your own purposes, where you can make your own discoveries. So hopefully these tutorials can give you some tools that you can really use to enhance your character animation in After Effects.